Hello all, 4-Player Squad Gaming here, and this is our Final Fantasy XIV Dungeon Guide series. This level 60 optional duty is featured during the quest An Overgrown Ambition, and the quest giver is the Tetchy Treasure Hunter in the Dravanian Hinterlands. We welcome you to St. Mocianne's Arboretum. It is also worth mentioning that at the time of recording this video, 30 Tomestones of Poetics are awarded upon completion, and completion of the Heavensward main scenario quest must be completed before it becomes available. Get ready to get some green fingers and let's dive straight into the guide. We start this trial heading over the first bridge and picking up the first small set of ads, including the Marlborough. Depending on your party's ability, you can either take each group here one at a time or collect them all as we have. We need to be mindful of the frontal cone AoEs from the Kopakurs and the circular AoE from the Morbol, inflicting heavy debuffs if not avoided. It is recommended to prioritise the Marlborough here, reducing the risk of being hit by awful breath. Once all these ads are clear, the pathway clears revealing another Marlborough. Proceed ahead onto the lily pads and you'll be ambushed by multiple Kopakurs. Kill these and the Morbol again, being mindful of frontal cone and circular AoEs. Head up the path and over the bridge towards the first boss fight. Our first boss is Rose Garden. Start this fight as normal, dealing damage and the tank gaining enmity. Rose Garden has a heavy hitting tank buster in the form of Vine Probe. Use damage reduction abilities or be ready to heal through this ability. At around 75% health, the boss will summon several smaller Morbol ads that are untargetable, and they will all project a continuous frontal cone bad breath ahead of them. Whilst this is happening, Rose Garden will start spraying extremely bad breath in front of it. The boss will rotate clockwise or counterclockwise and continue to spray its bad breath. The party needs to position themselves to avoid the main bad breath from Rose Garden and the miniature versions of it from the smaller Morbols. Being hit by any of the bad breath will inflict the party member with poison and paralysis debuffs. The Rose Garden will have also placed a pool of poison directly under itself to stop you hiding there. This area will inflict the party member with severe slow debuff. Simply rotate around the arena, weaving in and out of the Morbols and keeping up the damage. Once the Morbols retreat, the boss will place rose hips around the arena. These must be prioritised and killed quickly. Failure to do so will allow them to burst, dealing area-wide damage that cannot be avoided. These mechanics will now repeat until you have mowed down the Rose Garden. Pick up your loot and proceed. Head down the stairs and into Eremology, where we are greeted with a few new ad types. Pick up as many of these groups as you are comfortable with and clear them, being mindful of a large point blank AoE from the Tortoise. This will temporarily stun anyone hit by the AoE. There is a treasure coffer down the southwestern path here if you want to grab it. Head down the path and towards the hive. Clear the Hawk and the Bee Cloud. The Hawk has a small frontal column AoE to avoid. Once killed, 2 more Soldier Hawks will attack the party. Clear these and smash your way through the honeycomb. In this area, kill all the ads you come across, pick up the treasure coffer along the northern wall and attack the honeycomb as before. Once you start attacking the honeycomb, more B-type ads will spawn. We need to prioritise the Orn Hornet here due to it having the ability Final Sting, killing most players hit by it. Once the first set of ads are clear, damage the honeycomb to around 50% health, where more ads will spawn. Again, focus the Hornet first and repeat until we are through the honeycomb. Head down towards the second boss fight. Queen Hawk is our second boss. Start the fight as normal with the tank gaining enmity and the party dealing damage. The Queen should be faced away from the party to avoid the damage from Stinger Cell. Shortly after the start of the fight, the Queen will use Buzz, summoning untargetable Hawk ads around the outer edge of the fight arena. These will continuously deal damage to their closest target, however this damage is low and can basically be ignored for now. The boss will also keep pulsing out Pheromone Leak, dealing moderate area-wide damage. At approximately 50% health, the Queen will use a Veil, summoning 4 Nighthawks. Whilst they are alive, these Hawks will grant the boss multiple buffs. We need to quickly kill all of the Knights. During this time, the Queen will keep pulsing out Pheromone Leak, with increased damage. Once the Knights are down, the Queen will use Ally. This ability summons even more outer edge Hawk ads and they will group together. It is now important to see where they are positioned, and we must avoid standing directly in front of either set of Hawks. After a short while, they release a flurry of stingers dealing huge damage to players caught in the crossfire. Afterwards, the Hawk ads spread out and the abilities mentioned will rotate until the Queen has been dethroned. Pick up your loot and proceed down the Honey Waterfall. In this new area, we are again greeted with new ad types. Aim to prioritise and kill the Beloko first, avoiding the frontal cone AoE. Once they are clear, the pathway will open and reveal a grisly host. Head down the path and pick up the rest of the ads. Once you reach the treasure coffer here, the trees will reveal 2 more grisly hosts to contend with. Clear these ads, being mindful of the frontal cone AoEs from the Beloko and the grisly hosts. Head over the bridge and clear the Royal Oak and melee ads here, again being mindful of a frontal cone AoE. Once clear, head up the newly opened path and towards the final boss fight. Enjoy the short cutscene. Belladonna is our final boss. Start this fight as normal, gaining enmity, dealing damage and facing the boss away from the party. Shortly after the start of the fight, the boss will cast a room-wide AoE with the only safe spot being in melee range. Avoid this by heading to the centre. Failure to avoid the AoE will result in a stacking magic vulnerability up debuff. This will increase the damage from the area-wide ability Soul Vacuum. After the on-screen prompt, you will notice small bulbs appear and randomly position themselves around the arena. This will project out a point-blank AoE and we need to position ourselves to avoid these areas. Standing in these areas will deal damage and add a stack of magic vulnerability up. Soon after the bulbs are spawned, the boss will start to cast Front Fatale. This ability needs to be avoided by turning your player to face away from Belladonna. Failure to look away will inflict Seduced and the party member affected will walk uncontrollably towards the bulbs, receiving the damage and the debuffs. During the fight, 2 party members will also be targeted with an orange hit marker. These players need to spread out, ensuring the zone around them does not overlap any other player, especially the marked players. When Belladonna recenters, considerably more bulbs will appear, reducing the fight area greatly. This will only last a short time and the area will soon clear. The mechanics mentioned will repeat until Belladonna is down. And there you have it, St. Mocianne's Arboretum is complete. Remember to commemorate the player you believe deserves it most and pick up your loot. We give this duty a difficulty rating 3 out of 5 swords. The ad types here can be tricky to deal with and the bosses hit hard. The special loot for this duty includes the Defiant equipment and accessories, eye level 185, the Copper Core Kid minion, the Poison Ivy Orchestrion roll and the Belladonna card. Remember to like, comment and if you haven't already, click to subscribe. Up next is Pharos Sirius Hard. We are 4Player Squad Gaming, thanks for watching.